It's patch 0.170, and if you've been to my channel before, well, you know that this is going to be a bit of a takedown of the patch and the reasonings given for the patch, because let's be honest, I don't think they really but it's pumpkin season, which means there's a new spooky moon set. I don't know what this spooky moon set is, but there's also Hadar Romance, a new only up course. You can now use flare arrows and say chat, and you can look at this filter options. By the way, just so you know, there's no filter options added in this patch. Literally 0. Good. Let's start off with the weird thing. 4 new outfit bundles have been added to the premium store. The vampiric bundle, the stately 4 new, the vampiric bundle, the stately sage, and the student style bundle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in patch 0.169, they incorrectly listed the prices of their items, which, by the way, they still haven't fixed in the patch notes. So this is just another, we decided to completely screw up by not double checking what we were writing. They seem to be doing that a lot recently with these patch notes. And because of these mistakes, we're going to say that if we trust these outfits, this is a $20 outfit in the middle, a $15 outfit on the far right, and a $10 outfit on the far left, all in US dollars, despite the fact that I know that dollars are used in other places. We cannot say that these prices are representative of what will be in the game, because they've already proven to us that they will put lower prices in the patch notes than what are available in the game, and then just never update the patch notes. On to the pumpkin stuff. They've basically not added any event to this patch. I know people were looking forward to some sort of Halloween event. There are apparently pumpkins all around Kalima Village, despite the fact that this wonderful picture of what looks like a shop where you can buy items, we see no pumpkins anywhere else. So, I don't know. So there are 9 decor pieces coming. I'm guessing this is what they're referring to as the spooky moon set, although it's literally impossible to tell, and nothing here tells me that this would be a spooky moon set, so I don't know what they were talking about up here, because again, there's no moon. And they've shown us nothing that is a moon. Maybe that's like a small hint to something that they were planning. I don't know. But we have ourselves candles, floating candles, a wallpaper, no floor, surprisingly. Jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, stacks of jack-o'-lanterns, you know, all of that stuff. Where were we? Oh, yes. Not the biggest fan of these basically being the only confirmed things here, especially without confirmation of anything else. But, you know, whatever. On to what most people are going to be calling the biggest, bestest thing in the game, and that is Hadar Romance being added to the game, which is all well and good, I guess. They have a quote from them saying that as soon as they saw the concept art of him, they knew he was going to be romanceable. But then my question is, why did it take you multiple months after the apparent launch of your game when concept art for this character should have been done years ago? And the answers to those questions are not very good, but I don't know. So in order to romance this character, unlike every other character in the game with a romance system where you just have to get to friendship level 3 and then start romancing, you also need to get Najima to friendship level 4, which I guess means that romancing adult characters who aren't young adults is going to be inherently much more difficult for no apparent reason. I'm sure that some people will say, hey, this makes perfect sense, but as we all know, the romance in this game isn't actual romance, it's lightly dating people from time to time, potentially, possibly, not even that much. So there's not even really a good reason to have this friendship level to 4, considering most adult dating, you meet the kids not on the first date. Then, a note for Sefue fans, we know that you want to date Sefue, but we have made lore reasons for why you cannot. They are difficult, and yeah, I've spoken a little bit about how my thoughts on lore have changed in the past. Singularity 6 is the one making the lores, they're also the one making the gameplay. They can make the gameplay work for you by changing the lore, they can make the gameplay work for you by ignoring parts of their lore, or they can try to shoehorn their lore into everywhere and have it affect gameplay, and they seem to be doing the last one instead of the other ones. Okay, on to Only Up, the game that exists because I don't know. I don't know why somebody saw Only Up, the game that is literally known for being, like, infuriating, and decided, yeah, that's the game we want to put in. We want to put in our cozy game, but, you know, it's here. You'll be able to find some Zeki coins and some letters, despite the fact that this is basically all inside of an arcade dream world, and you can climb. And my biggest problem with this is that there's gotta be, like, a design team or people put on this who could have been working on literally anything else, because this looks like it took an extensive amount of time to do. I don't get it. Doesn't even fit the market for what they have. Okay, on to the Valley Sunrise set. Now, these have been added to Zeki's gotcha machine, their gamble machine that I refer to it as. And I want everybody to realize that gotcha machines work off of percentages. So the more furniture that they add to the gotcha machines, the less likely it is that you'll ever get them. As anybody who's played a gotcha game can tell you. So with them adding more furniture sets to the gotcha machines that you can't actually buy, they're really just trying to keep you in that ecosystem of spending money for no guaranteed return. Listen, it's the scummy thing that every gotcha game does, except they're getting away with it because it's not real money, it's just in-game time, which time is money. So I guess it is money. And I guess the two helpful things for communicating, they changed proximity chat from the dev update to nearby chat, despite me saying that they should call it say, because as we can all see, it is actually called say chat. I don't know why they refuse to call it that, but they do. It's here. And they've also added flare arrows that you can get from the hunting guild store for 500 gold, starting at hunting level 4. And the recipe doesn't look too bad. This is basically the required fix from the Phoenix Arrow backlash from when they nerfed that without having actual replacements. And here it says the effect of the shot from the flare arrow will remain visible for up to 1 minute or until another one is shot. This scares me because it might actually become possible under this wording for somebody else in your server to troll you by shooting their flare arrow every time you shoot yours, removing your flare. Huh. Here's the supposed filtering options that they've added at the top, and as we can see here, there's sorting options. There's no actual filtering, so you can sort by alphabetic, reverse alphabetic, ready to craft, and never crafted. And I guess never crafted is a helpful one if you're just trying to get XP, but the rest of these are about as useful as our current system is, except maybe alphabetical, and reverse alphabetical will make it a little bit easier to find some stuff because for some reason the default sorting has things like Ravenwood all over the place. I don't think sorting really works in a world where we don't have filtering tools, but Yeah. And I'd like to remind you, at the top, they said a spooky moon set and filtering options, neither of which are here. The last two, you can now open and close various bookshelves and cabinets. From the wording here, I'm not actually sure if this means all of them or not. We'll have to test that. I'll be doing a stream after the patch is actually live, and I guess we'll look at stuff then. And crafters now support the canceling of recipes, and I don't know if this works like gardening, where you lose the materials you put into it, which, I mean, in some cases would mean it's basically a completely useless feature that's added. Again, we will have to test that. Some slight adjustments: doors, hallways, and porches no longer count towards building add-on limits. The default cast speed for fishing has been reverted to how it used to be, so now people don't get mad about how slow it is. And the recipe for dowsing rods has been adjusted to require half as many coral. Now, from a patch standpoint, all of this is pretty good. I have my own opinions on the FAQs and how they're just making stuff up because they're just making stuff up. The big thing is that the sushi recipe can now be fished by everyone. They've also fixed the turn-in for the blueberry pie. Sticky smoke bombs now work in multiplayer bug catching, which I thought was all bug catching, but I guess it's not. And they can now confirm that adding 99 fertilizers to all 9 soil plots will no longer prevent you from interacting with them. Hopefully this is actually fixed, because this bug has been plaguing the game for a while now. And the recently added known issues: just so you know, more people are crashing when changing servers. That's the big thing. And around the world, climbing is not always a smooth experience, especially in these areas. Why did you add an entire system for climbing? I don't know. If you want to hear my thoughts about things like the FAQ, or if you want to see how some of this stuff actually works in game versus just how they say they'll work, or what they're saying here, which is very little, then you can join me in my stream later today after the patch goes live. Should be like 2 hours. Have a good one, everyone. Here are the people that make this possible, and have a good day.